Hey guys, good morning. It's the end of March and I'm Kimberly with Fat Quarter Shop FlossTube, and today we're going to talk about a new club. I have lots of finishes and a lot of framed finishes, a lot of fully finished. I have so much stuff to show you, so I'm so excited. But I wanted to kind of start off the show since we're at the end of the first quarter of the year and just talk about, like, have you guys been able to keep up with your stitching? I kind of feel like I have, but I do feel like I'm starting to get a little bit behind. So I'm trying to get motivated. And so I was thinking about, like, what are different things that you guys do to stay motivated? One thing that I do is I have committed to a lot of larger projects this year. You know, they take 8 hours, 10 hours. So kind of to stay motivated, what I'm going to try to do is fit in some of the smaller items in between the big ones, just to feel like my list is getting lower and lower. So let me know in the comments, like, what kind of things you guys do to stay motivated, whether it's in quilting or cross stitch, either one. And like I said, we have a brand new club. So I'm going to first show you a pop-up image. Doesn't matter. Okay, so this is called Monthly Weigh-In, and this is a sneak peek from Priscilla and Chelsea. It's a brand new club by Stitching with the Housewives, and so this is your sneak peek. I'm going to let that image stay there for a while so I can give you all the facts. So each month you will receive a monthly weigh-in chart and 8 skeins of classic colorworks. The chart includes one 6 by 7 inch design and one 1.5 by 5 inch sign design. So basically kind of like the trucking along, where the month was separate than the piece. So the pattern will include the name of the month as part of the sign, and then the vintage scale will be topped with signs of the season, and then there'll also be stuff on the left and the right. This club starts in July. The first pattern you get will be September. So month to month is finishing in May if you're in that club. Monthly weigh-in starts in July. They're completely different clubs, so you have to sign up for the new club. You don't continue with the old one. And I'm going to show you next the image that you can look for on our website. So that should be on the top of the What's New page. We are going to have limited spots because we're limited on the thread that we can get. So you want to sign up, because on the quarterly club that was exclusive to us, we did sell out. And so again, month to month finishes in May, weigh-in starts in July, and it comes with the pattern again and 8 skeins of floss. So I'm going to show you the fabric now. We just found out about this club yesterday, and the fabric has already sold out, but we have more on order. It is a low price fabric. It's from DMC, and I'm going to show you what Priscilla and Chelsea are stitching on, and we will have more in a month or two, but you have plenty of time because this club doesn't start until July. And again, it starts in July, but you get your first pattern as September, so it gives you a couple of months to finish. Okay, so this fabric right here is sold out, but we're getting more. It is 28 count Monaco by DMC Charles Craft. The color is tea-dyed. Now, it's not really tea-dyed. That's the name of the color, is tea-dyed. So Priscilla and Chelsea didn't tea-dye it. They just bought it tea-dyed. With the big piece that you get, it comes in a tube. You can get 2 months. So if you're going to use this fabric, you need 6 packs. I'm going to show you each month. The white and black will be the same each month. And then there will be 6 colors that go with the season. So I'm kind of showing you the first one. Now, since we just found out about this yesterday, I haven't decided what I'm going to stitch on. I've never stitched on Monaco, but I might just stitch on Monaco. I might just do exactly what Priscilla and Chelsea do. I obviously have time to decide because I just found out about it yesterday. So guys, don't worry about, I wouldn't worry about your fabric quite yet. I would just sign up for the club, secure your spot before it sells out, and then you can decide on your fabric later, which is what I'm going to do, because even if I decide to do this, there's none in stock for me to buy. So I would just kind of sign up for the club and wait for, just decide on your fabric later. Now, one of the questions we have is, what is the 8 of 14 count? We're working on that. We're working on that, and we'll get back to you on that because I do not know what 14 count is the equivalent to, because DMC does not make tea-dyed in 14 count. So this is the weigh-in again. So let me know, I want to look at comments real quick, and I just want to see kind of what people are chatting. How about computer generated? I'm not sure what that means. My problem is wanting to do all of the projects, no motivation at this time. That's kind of, I feel like that's kind of one of the things that I find. This is a great comment from Deborah. I go from large to small, and usually stitch by season to keep me motivated. And the full, now that the image we showed you was computer generated because they have not stitched it yet. Doesn't month to month finish in July, not May? It finishes in the month of May with the July pattern. I use cross stitch between quilting when I get bored, then I jump back either to piecing or going to my stack of tops that need to be quilted. That's a good thing to do. March has been hard for staying motivated. I went to Panama, so very little stitching was done. I kind of forced myself to stitch 2 hours each day this week. How stiff is Monaco? Okay, that's a great question. Okay, so it's pretty stiff. That's it standing up, so I mean, it's stiff. You know, fabric flare would not stand up that much. Now, I will say, Priscilla and Chelsea love Monaco. Will the scales be different colors each month? Yes, I'm assuming they will be. I'm totally overwhelmed with too many projects I want. I agree. I like to stitch seasonally to be inspired by what the weather is doing, and I keep 3 needles on my minder and thread all at once and try to get all 3 threads finished in a sitting. That's a good one. Will the weigh-in charts be available separate from the club? Yes, they will be. And the 2 images that we showed, those are the only images we have. Now the one image with the artwork, we did that in-house, so that's a Fat Quarter Shop image. Okay, so, oh, that's nice, Kay. She says she watches me to stay motivated. That's nice. New clubs keep me motivated. FlossTube keeps me motivated. Yay! Okay, a weigh-in, a diet program. Yeah, I wish. Okay, so now we're going to move to a trunk show of summer memories. And so, like I said, fabric is sold out, but we have plenty on order. We're waiting on an answer from DMC, who is based in France, for an answer on that. So the first thing is, and I've done a trunk show on summer memories in the summer. So if you look at FlossTube 179, which was October 19th of 2022, we did show these. And with these, we showed all the details. So you're gonna, if you wanna know the exact fabric, all of that, you're gonna want to go to that FlossTube. I'm gonna show you the designs again and show you kind of what I've come up with for the sew along, quilt along, sew along, stitch along, sorry. And the stitch along is going to be in June. And I'm going to tell you the fabric that I'm doing and everything at the end so that okay, so the first one is Cherry Season. The second one is Free and Brave. And in the book, the book is Summer Memories by Susan Aki. In the book, we list exactly what Susan used for fabric, and we give alternatives on that FlossTube I referenced earlier. Freedom Flowers. Hope. This one's framed. Peace. This one's really cute. Proud and True. Sail Away. Shining Sea. Singing ABCs. And This Land. So now that the book is out, what we're going to do is I'm going to have a sew along in June. And the sew along, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick like 4 projects from this book. I'm going to pick a couple of Bent Creek, some new, some old, and there's also something else I'm going to pick from. Do you remember what it is?
Little Stitch Girl.
Little Stitch Girl has some cute, that new booklet that came out at Market. So in June, basically what I'm going to be doing is doing Patriotic, and I'm going to be doing them into all pillows, which is going to be the first time I've done it. But what I wanted to do is come up with a fabric that I liked. So we have come up with Kimberly's Blue Gingham. We're going to release this in April. And we put it on the Coming Soon page yesterday, but there is a pale blue gingham, but it's darker. There's another, I don't remember the exact name, but this one is much lighter. So what I was trying to do was similar to this. This is an old Zweigart that's now discontinued. So I was trying to get closer to this color. So what I'm going to do for my sew along, more information to come later, but I'm going to buy like 3 or 4 of these pieces. This is only 14 count that we had it made in. And I'm going to stitch everything that I mentioned. The Summer Memories, the Little Stitch Girl, Bent Creek, and I'm going to use this box of floss that Susan Aki made this for Aurifil. And it's basically these colors. And since it's Aurifil, there's so much on the spool, I will have plenty left over. I'm not even going to have to worry about having more than one skein, which is nice. And so what I'll do is I'll put this in one of our cute little floss boxes that we have, and then just I'll probably cut these down as I go. And so hopefully you guys will join me in that stitch along. The book is 73 pages. It has 6 quilt projects, 10 cross stitch patterns, and last Friday on the Fat Quarter Shop YouTube channel, which is our quilting channel, we had a trunk show of all the quilts. And this Friday, Susan Aki is going to be a member on this Friday's live stream. So even if you're not a quilter, you might want to come watch that, because she is going to talk a lot about color placement, color theory, and she's going to talk about it in terms of quilting. But the same type of thing will apply. So if you're going to be joining and you want to use her colors, you might want to come watch that. The book will not sell out because we actually print this ourselves. We have plenty to last a year. So we the fabric, we have ordered a lot of the fabric, but the fabric is not here yet, but we should have enough fabric. And we always, with Fabric Flair, it takes about 3 weeks to get it. So if we sell out, we'll get more, but our first shipment hasn't come in. This is our sample piece that we approved. So this is a prototype. This isn't even from the store. Okay, so that is all about that. I'm going to save questions until the end. I don't see any questions right now that pertain just to this. So I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to show you The Chicken Club by Lori Holt. And this is a tease for April. So, like you know, all of the chickens are named, and this one is named Beatrice, or Beatrice, however you want to say it. My aunt's name is Bee, and I call her Aunt Bee. So, there's Aunt Bee. So this is going to be, if you're in the chicken club at Fat Quarter Shop, this is designed by Lori Holt, and you will get your club next week. And this is based off her chicken salad quilt. And so now you can see the fabrics and the rickrack that she used for this one. And you can buy the pattern separately. If you're not in the club, you just have to wait 10 days until the club has gotten it. And each little chicken is about 60 by 80. And then there is a name tag for, if you wanted to put at the bottom, there's a name tag for Beatrice. And for the pillows, yeah, I'll answer that in a little bit. Okay, so we've got Cornelius, Florence, Hattie, and Beatrice. So this is going to be shipping next week. Now I'm going to move to finishes. So this right here is Stackables. And this is the sample that Cheryl stitched. And then here's what I finished this week. So this is the March. So like I've said before, I start at the bottom and go up. And I stitch, it's so interesting. I stitch using Lori's beeswax. And my stitching just comes out so much darker than hers. And she thinks it's the beeswax. I don't know if it is or not. But basically on the pattern, if you're in the club, it goes next week. The April does, which I'm about to show you. But just so you guys know, the paddle, the company went out of business, so we're trying to find another place to get the paddle made. The grunge, which is this fabric right here, is always on the back of your pattern, so you'll want to check that. But I got March done just in time, and so excited to have it done. And it was pretty easy because a lot of it I could do fill in. So like on the butterfly, it's just 2 colors. I did all of the outline and then filled in. And then on the little birdhouse, I did the same thing. Did the top, the bottom, and then the edges, this, and then just filled in. And so if you're in the Stackables club, next week you're going to get April. So I'm going to show you April's. And thank you to Priscilla who made the cute bows for us. So this bow, it's interchangeable. And so this will be the bow for April. On the back of the chart will be the grunge color. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Now, funny behind the scenes story is we changed the bunny color a couple of times. It was originally pink. We unstitched it. It didn't look good. Then it was like a bright yellow, and then it looked kind of scary. So it's funny. Poor Cheryl had to restitch it a bunch of times, but we feel like it's perfect now. Now, I'm going to show you the colors. So if you're in the club, it will ship next week. So this month we use Queen Bee, Marmalade, Betty Bluebell, Caterpillar, German Chocolate, Brandied Pears, Sunset, Shrimp Cocktail, and Spinach. Now another behind the scenes is when Denise, Cheryl, and I picked threads for the club, we obviously kept these 3 the same, so you could actually stitch all 12 of these at one time and be done. But for the threads above, we really tried to use colors. Now, some of them, obviously, Shrimp Cocktail we've used before, but we did try to use colors that aren't in necessarily like a Priscilla and Chelsea club or a Lori Holt club, just to give you some other threads to go in your stash and just to keep it interesting and keep you motivated so you're not using the same thread over and over. So this is shipping next week. And then another finish I had this week is from Barn Sweet Barn. So I have stitched January, February, and March, and this one I'm going to take to the framer. And then April is, what color is April? April's purple, and then the bonus that I'm also going to do in April is kind of like gold. So two of my least favorite colors I'll be stitching, but I will get them done. Now, I did want to talk about putting the word top. The reason I do that is because it's symmetrical. So I don't want to accidentally pick it up and start stitching this way, even though it's the same design, because my stitches will go the wrong direction. And because I do so many projects and I switch in between them, I have to put top on there. And I'm not a fan of green, but I like it. So maybe I'm going to convert. So this is going to go to the framer. I have about, let's see, I think I have 7 things to take to the framer. And next week, hopefully I will have April done. We'll see. I have a lot. I feel like my life is about to, I mean, if there could be anything added to my plate right now, I think I would just have a meltdown. So that means I have no time. This I finished yesterday at the car dealership. So this is Sugar Cookie House, part 3 of the houses on Peppermint Lane. And this one is the one where we have the thread pack with the color conversions. And I didn't make any changes. I just kept it exactly the same. I didn't stitch the bottom or anything. I really like how it came out. Of course, I loved it because it's pink. And then I'm going to start the next one, which is part 4, whatever house that is. This one, just so you know, there is going to be another series of this with the autumn houses on Pumpkin Lane, and we're going to have a trunk show, and we're planning all of that behind the scenes right now, which is kind of fun. Now, one thing I am going to try to do, just in case you want to know about behind the scenes, is I'll probably use the same fabric. I'm probably going to keep the same reds and greens and white and browns, but I'm going to change probably all of her oranges, autumnish colors, that kind of thing. So picking the colors for the next round won't take as long because we have kind of a base to go from. Now this year on this one, I'm framing it. So this is going to the framer too. Next year, I'm hoping to do some pillows. And with that, I'm hoping to use some Lady Dot Create finishing. And so this is her little rickrack. This is Licorice. This is Brick House. And this is Russet. And these are the 3 colors that go with houses on Pumpkin Lane. So now this one is pinker in person. But I've never used this. So, but I am thinking on the next round, I'm going to make pillows, and I'm going to use this trim. Now also, for the pillows that I'm doing for the June Summer Memory Stitch Along and Patriotic Stitch Along, I'm also going to use these, but I have not picked the colors for that yet. So this is a new item for us. So that's like kind of to talk about everything that I'm caught up on, because it is March 29th, so I have 2 days left. And I'm totally behind on this. So this is my A Year of Celebration Part 2. So we're in March. So not only have I not done March, I haven't done February. And this is one where the reason I keep putting it off is it's big and it's over 2. Anytime there's something over 2, I always put that to the last of my list. Even though it's going to be beautiful in the end, I just, for some reason, don't look forward to stitching over 2. So, and we will have a set of Pumpkin Lane for sale as pattern sets. I'm waiting on that order to arrive. So, yeah, so I'm behind on this one, but I'm hoping today to kind of start February. I was thinking maybe I would do like the top of February, the top of March, and then just be able to fill in. But then obviously in 3 days, it's going to be April. So I'm already going to need to be doing April. So this might be one where I just sit down and finish the whole thing. Like it might just be one of those, because I keep putting it off, just sit down and finish the whole thing. So I am still working on it. I know sometimes if I don't show you everything, y'all are like, what? Why haven't you worked on it? So there's my excuse for that. I hate excuses, by the way. I tell my kids, like, I don't care about your excuses. So I don't really care about my excuses either. I have 2 days to finish that. And then huge shout out, thank you to Cheryl, who restitched my February. So I had shown you guys before, I had stitched everything and then found a big tea stain. But she fixed it, she stitched it for me, so I wasn't going to lose my mind. And this is also going to the framer. I might be taking 10 things to the framer. That seems like a lot. So this is going to the framer. Oh, thank you, so cute. Now I'm going to show you framed finishes. And keep putting your questions in, because I'm going to go through all the questions at the end and answer them all at once. So this one is, I love. So this is Silver Creek Samplers, my Christmas list. I stitched on 25 count oatmeal. Lori Holt did a thread conversion. She wanted to stitch this with me at the same time. So we do have a thread pack for Lori's colors if you're interested, and it's just DMC. So I got this framed, and when I got it framed, do you think you could scroll in a little bit? I actually had Lori pick the frame for me. I wanted something very skinny, and she kind of felt like this scroll matched kind of the design. So Lori picked the frame for me, and it does have glass. So that's the My Christmas list. And then I have a couple more from the framer, and it's pretty big. I mean, let's see, look at it from the front. It's pretty big. Pretty big. I don't know where I'm gonna put all this stuff because I'm out of room. And then speaking of the month to months, I took a December. And these are stitched on that pale gray gingham. And then January's also. So now I have December and January done. And what I asked the framers, try to make them about the same size and try to leave the same amount of space. And they're never going to be exact, but it's easy to store them that way. Another thing I stitched late last year was the Christmas Alphabet by Primrose Cottage. I took the letters, moved them around, and made a tree for all of our names. And so I just went from longest name to smallest name, so it's not in order of birth or anything like that, but super cute. And I think my kids will probably like it. I think it's cute. And then last year I also did Little House Needleworks Winter Petites, and on that one I didn't stitch the angel, I just stitched 3 of them. And I stitched on a 14 count Beautiful Beige by Witchell. I used a called for floss. I did change some of the frame colors and talked about it in a previous live stream. And then I did add Perfect Pie Crust for the farmer spaces. And this one, I kind of just wanted a plain frame to kind of pull out. I wanted kind of something to match the deer colors. And then the last one is Holiday Hallmark. So this is the 4th in the series. So there was 4 of these. And this one just cracks me up. When I picked this frame, it's so ginormous. So kind of a little big. but now I'm excited because all 4 of these are done. And what I like to do is store them kind of together. But I honestly am out of space. I don't have anywhere to put all of this. Autumn provides, and just ignore my dent. I folded it in half in my bag. And these are all 4 done. So this was a 4-part series by Summer House Stitch Works. And I stitched all 4 of mine on 14 count espresso by Fiber on a Whim. I used called for DMC in all 4 of them. And so these will be pretty cool. I like them. I love the frame. I think it's going to be like a nice addition to like all of my frame stuff. I just have nowhere to put it. And then I'm going to show you my finishes that Priscilla finished. So huge thank you to Priscilla Blaine. I'm sure she will have info on her blog. This is Sleigh Rides. This is a PDF available at Fat Quarter Shop or at the Stitching with the Housewives Etsy site. Now, anytime you ever see me stitch a Priscilla and Chelsea chart on a black fabric, I always use 14 count chalkboard black by Ada. I just happen to love the lightness of that black, if that makes sense. So let's see, I didn't change anything on him at all, I don't think. And she stitched this using Chelsea's Checks, Aqua, Priscilla's Pretty Plaids, Reds, and we do have some new Priscilla and Chelsea fabric coming out. Do we have that card somewhere? Oh, we showed it last week on this channel. Okay, sorry. And so this one, this is a piece from Hobby Lobby. The number is 5603295 if you want to know what that is. So cute. And then from the Priscilla and Chelsea Adorables collection, I did the Christmas. So I didn't do all of them. I did some of them though. And oops. Oh, this is a magnet. That's what I was looking for. So this is a magnet that she put there and it just stays. So super cute. I think I need a closet just for my Christmas projects. Let's Go Ride a Bike, Christmas Lane by Stitching with the Housewives. So this is the same one she used to finish hers. I just need to add some fluffery there. Same thing, chalkboard black. And she kind of used the same fabrics throughout, so they're going to be very matchy-matchy, which is cool. And then one that's not Christmas, I kind of threw this in at the end of last year just for fun. And when Kevin and I went to Hobby Lobby, he saw this and it said like coffee or something. So I sent it, oh, there it is. Our little coffee bar. So I thought maybe she pulled it off. So she just on the other side put this, which is really cute because then you could do either side. But I just thought this was really cute. How could I not stitch a pink truck? And she used the new the red Priscilla and Chelsea ribbon. The aqua should be in stock this week. We're hoping. It still hasn't arrived yet, but we're hoping. Now we're going to move to Cheryl's Whips, and keep putting your questions in because I see a lot of questions and I am going to answer them. Cottontail Farms by Misty Purcell of Luminous Fiber Arts, and you saw it last week, but she added to it. And then from Shannon Christine, we showed you this last week also, but she's closer to being finished. So let's see. So right here, she still has the ornaments and then everything down here. So she's kind of like right here. And one thing she did say is this has a ton of colors. So she's changing colors quite a bit. And this next one, Hello Spring by Primrose Cottage. This is a brand new fabric flare fabric. So fabric flare is that fabric that's printed, screen printed on one side and white on the other. Now we did sell out of the 28 count, which is what she stitched on, and we did sell out of the 14 count. We have those on order, and so when the next order comes, we've added sizes. We will have 14, 16, 18 Ada, and then 28 and 32 even weave. And this one is really cute. Well, she showed it to me, and it's it says, "Hello, Ingrid." So basically, just so you guys know, all of the letters were done for spring except for the D. So she just figured out a way, you know, obviously the alphabet in here is just SPRING. So she just happened to, I mean, look at that. That's basically all the, so basically the baby's name is so similar. So she just came up with how to do D. So that's a great way to customize. And she kind of got lucky with the baby's name, I think. And then for today's flash sale, we have the size 20 Mary Arden tapestry needles and Trucking Along April on sale. And then for new items, today Carrot Patch Roundabouts released as a PDF. And then Hair Hollow 4. So it's the 4th in the series, and that released Friday. The next 3 are going to be pop-up images. So June month to month was released this weekend on Priscilla and Chelsea's channel. And so this is June. So if you're in the club, that's what you'll be getting. The Let's Go Ride a Bike is also a club, and she released the next one, or they released the next one. And of course, if you're in these clubs, you'll get them the day after they arrive to us. And then the next one is a pattern reservation called Honeybee Garden, and that got a ton of love. People are like loving that. So any of those 3 you can find at Back Quarter Shop. They are available as paper patterns and will also be PDFs about 45 days after. So those are new. Crown and Shields is a new pattern by Blackbird Design. It's a booklet, and so these are the same design. This is just different threads. And this is the original piece. Big City Christmas Hotel arrived from Country Cottage Needleworks. And then Matilda's Little Sampler from the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. And she has a little sampler series, so this is part of that. We also received the new Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine. I'm going to just kind of flip through it so you can see the projects. There is obviously some punch needles, some cross stitch. I'm trying to just, you know, do it where I'm going to show you the one. So this is the seasonal row by Priscilla and Chelsea. And then there's another thing I wanted to show you. There's always in these magazines, there's always a tutorial by Vonna Pfeiffer. And so just kind of wanted to point that out. And she's got a tutorial in this one. And for new fabrics, we had a request for white 32 count Lugana. So we got that in finally. And then white 28 count Lugana. So 28, 32, I mean, they're both white. They look the same. But those were requested. And then we had a request a while ago for the charcoal 20 count because Cheryl used it on something. And this is also by Zweigart. So these come in bolts and we cut them down. And sometimes it takes a while to get the bolts. So if you requested it and it took a while, I apologize. And then we also got this finishing board by Chantel. It's called Plentiful Pocket Board, cross stitch display. And it kind of goes along with Nicole Spore's sew along with hands-on design called More Chocolate Bunny. So if you want to know more about that, Nicole Spore, it's Nichol space Spohr. I believe that's how you spell it. She has a YouTube channel. Go check her out because she has all the information on it. The pattern is called More Chocolate Bunnies by Hands on Design. We have that in stock. And Chantel also has a YouTube channel. I think it's just called Chantel's 141 Design. Okay, so now I'm going to do questions. Will the scale be different colors each month? Yes. Will these patterns be available to purchase outside the club? Yes, always. The reason the club sells out, or the reason we pre-sell the club, is so that we can give accurate numbers for the Fancy Floss and accurate numbers to Priscilla and Chelsea, and it just makes sure that they have time to fulfill the order. But of course, we always have extra for non-club members. Will Fat Quarter Shop be offering June month-to-month chart and floss in April? Yes. Once the club ships out, and then basically the ones we put online are just the people who don't pay their club. When will the thread pack be in for Welcome to the North Pole? Will you be giving us more information on that stitch along? Yes. So we're waiting on information actually from Primrose Cottage on when they're gonna release it. For Welcome to the North Pole, everything has been ordered, but there's like 2 colors that haven't arrived, and one of them's hand dyed. We're also waiting on button packs from Just Another Button Company. So as that comes in, we'll give more information and more information on fabric. So we're kind of just waiting. I don't have that scheduled in my book yet in terms of what month. So we're just kind of just waiting. You know, I don't want to step on anybody's toes, and if Primrose Cottage is hosting a stitch along, I'd rather just follow them, if that makes sense, instead of trying to like host it myself and then get in the way of what they're trying to do. So we're just waiting on an answer on that. Will there ever be an Aurifil Floss Club? Probably not, and I'll tell you a couple of reasons why. Some people think Aurifloss is too expensive, and we get a lot of complaints that we're, just trying to overcharge people. It's just too expensive. So just based on that, we're not going to offer it. Just based on the, I guess, sales too. And I love Aurifloss. I will say I love it because it doesn't, for some reason, it does not ever knot or twist. Am I going to use the same fabric for all the pillows? Yes. For that June sew along, I'm planning to use that Kimberly's blue check. And just so you guys know, there will probably be a Kimberly's pink check, Kimberly's green check, brown check. There will be more checks. Because one of the reasons I want to do that is I finished a lot of my pieces in 2022 on the pale gray gingham. And that's great. I love it. But I can't put everything up in my house with the same thing. And so I'm looking to change it up. That's also one of my goals to keep me on track, is to keep me motivated. So changing up the fabric, of course, will be one of those things. Will there be a floss conversion for the Aurifloss box for Summer Memories? We haven't planned one. That's kind of up to Susan Aki. Since Susan did the Aurifloss box, maybe I can ask her on Friday. She only, just so you guys know, that's what she uses. So I don't know if she'll convert it or not. This is a great tip from Maria. She says she snips the upper left corner for the top on the projects. But knowing my dingy self, I'd be like, is it the top left, top right, bottom right? I mean, like, I cannot, if everyone who works here knows, I forget everything. I do so many things. I can't keep anything straight. So I would probably forget. I'd probably have to text Denise on the weekend, which I really try not to do. What did I say? Where did I put this? I mean, yeah. So Denise would probably prefer for me to just put the top on the thing. Whatever happened to Nutcracker Village? Wasn't that on 28 count? I finished that. Wait, no, what is that?
That's the one that's on 32 count, that raw silver linen.
Oh, so Nutcracker Village, I never stitched it. I never committed to stitch that. It was on 32 count raw silver linen, which we did get back in stock. And I never committed to do that one, just because I need to finish my glitter house before I move on to that. Oh, it says she says I did commit to it and started it and never finished it. No. I never committed to it. Okay, Glitter Village. So I will not let myself start another one until I go back and finish the other one. Carmen asks, how much fabric would I need for the Christmas Stitch by Silver Creek on 14 count, and do you have that size available? Okay, so that would be my Christmas list. The stitch count is pretty big. I used 14 count though. No, I didn't. What did I use? I used 25 count. I don't know if we have a 14 count.
Yeah. Oh, 14 count. Oh, no, that'll fit.
Okay, so I used 25. What did I use?
You do the 25 count oatmeal and you cut it from the fat quarter.
Okay, so I took 25 count oatmeal, cut it from a fat quarter. If you want the equivalent, that would be 14 count Vintage Country Mocha. You would have to pick a size that's big enough. Just put in the stitch count size that's on the pattern listed on our site, and then go to the fat quarter shop, a cross stitch calculator, and that'll tell you how much you need, because I can't remember that. Do I carry color and cotton heirloom fabric? No, we don't carry their fabric. What fabric did Cheryl use for Shannon Christine Easter tree? She used 32 count light taupe Lugana, called for DMC, 2 stitches over 2 squares. When will Happiness's Homemade Cookbook be back in stock? I ordered it a long time ago, so maybe we could check on that today, but we ordered it a long time ago. I'm having a hard time stitching on 28 count. Any tips? I have the same struggle bus. So like I said, I always kind of put the 28 count away because I get frustrated. I would say use a light, but I can stitch on 25 count pretty good. The 28 count is just harder. Will I ever get into selling yarn? So one thing I learned a long time ago in this is I never say never to anything. I mean, I used to say I would never have a YouTube channel. No way would you get me on a YouTube channel. Never do this, never do that. So, but we do right now, we have the Lori Holt chunky thread. We also have Tilda wool yarn. And for now, that's what we have. Okay, so for today, we're going to give away 3 Summer Memories books. And to enter to win, you need to list the name of the 4 that you would stitch from this book if you won them. And we will announce the winners on our community tab next Monday. So see you next week.